Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Forza Horizon 5 video. Today, I am going to be sharing with you 10 overlooked cars that you should drive in Forza Horizon 5, ladies and gentlemen. Or I guess a secondary title of this video could be 10 cars that you should drive that you probably haven't. Today, we are covering 10 cars that, funny enough, this was not intentional, but it is definitely a good thing. All of these cars are 100,000 credits or lower if you can purchase them from the auto show. Of course, there's 2 of them on this list that you cannot, but again, I will be going through all of the verified ways. I checked every single one of these. All the information is 100% correct. So without further ado, there's a lot to have fun with, a lot of cars to try out, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get right into it. First up on the list is the 1990 Nissan Pulsar. This thing can turn into a rally beast, and I really just love the look of this thing. And there's some great off-road tunes. I just threw some upgrades together for mine, but you can definitely get a tune and race this thing. It is very good, and I do believe it is a really good S1 class race car, or I guess an A class technically. So yeah, super cool. This thing is great, and it's definitely one of those that it doesn't look like it can do much from the outside, but from the inside and what all the upgrades and stuff you can do to it, you can turn this thing into something special. Here's the rest of the gameplay, ladies and gentlemen. Number 2 on the list is the Mazda RX-7 Savannah. I covered this in my rare cars video, how to get it, but just in case you missed that one, I can't imagine you did. It has almost 150,000 views. Thank you guys so much. But if you did miss it, I'll leave an iCard above. And this thing, you cannot buy it on the auto show, but you can get it through the auction house, through wheel spins, or you can just do the Super 7 3 times and you will get it as an accolade reward. Make sure you check in your accolades. It does not auto put it into your garage. I made that mistake and now I have 2 of them. Of course, this thing being, I guess, the Gen 1 RX-7, if you will, being a rotary, this thing is super cool, and I feel like a lot of people get it for the torque stallion and just never really use it after that. It's really a cool car on its own, so just drawing some attention to that here. Next up on the list is the 2013 Ktrum Superlight. This thing is a fantastic S1 class road racer. It has a surprising amount of grip, and overall it just looks really unique as well. I really love the look of it, and with this like very neon electric green, I don't really know what to call it, acid green, it looks super cool, and I'm definitely going to drive this thing a lot more now. So here's the rest of that gameplay. I should mention, actually, you can get it through all of the normal ways, auto show, auction house, and through wheel spins, and it costs 82,000 credits. Here is the rest of the gameplay. Next up on this list is the 2019 Hyundai Veloster N, and what makes this thing really cool is that it is a rare car. Technically, you cannot get it through the auto show, so you are going to have to go through the auction house or get it through wheel spins. There might be an accolade challenge for it, but I do not 100% recall, so don't quote me on that. There might be. Look in the comments, maybe someone will have that figured out. What makes this car also very cool is that this is what Hyundai uses in their factory WRC entry. Of course, it's really souped up and everything, so it's not exactly what we're getting here, but in the game, it's actually a very good A-class rally car. So if you're looking for something to spice up your rally races, you could definitely turn to this one. And again, it's kind of a rare car, so it's also very cool to have. This thing looks like a little city cruiser, but it definitely is not. Next up is the 1992 Toyota Mr2 Sc. If you don't know what the Toyota Mr2 is, it is, I wouldn't call it a legendary JDM car. It's not like an RX-7 or a Supra, but it's definitely a very underrated, sporty little JDM car. And of course, being from the very late 80s, I suppose, being 1989, it is just your classic classic little tuner car, and man, I would love to own one of these things in real life. Why it's on this list, it doesn't really like do anything particularly well. It's just a really cool cruising car, very cool car to take photos with. It's the thumbnail for this video, so it's just a very cool and unique car as well, because there's not much else like it. This thing is also supercharged, so it has a super cool whine in its engine note. It's just a really unique car, and this is one of my favorites in all of FH5. Next up is the 2016 Cadillac Ats V, ladies and gentlemen. You're probably wondering, it's a Cadillac. This is what my grandpa drives. What could possibly be cool about this Cadillac? Well, it has a custom Forza wide body kit, a big rear wing, and it is also pretty grippy too if you fully upgrade it. This thing is super cool. You can get it through all of the usual routes, and by the way, if I didn't mention how to get the car, it's just you can get it anywhere, auto show, auction house, stuff like that. So I won't say it for all of them just because I don't want to get super repetitive, but that's beyond the point. This thing is super cool, and it could be fast as well, and of course it's a V8, so it sounds amazing. I think this is one of those engine notes that as well I just really love. A lot of the cars, I can't speak for all of them, but they just sound so good in this game, man. Next up is the 1986 Ford Escort RS Turbo, ladies and gentlemen. This thing is a beyond grippy, super nice rally car. I do believe it's an S1 class, so super fun, and man, oh man, is it so grippy on the dirt. I also think this thing looks super unique. It definitely looks very 80s Ford as well. There's just a lot to love about this thing, and the exhaust pipe, it's kind of like going at a slight angle, and just all those little details that make it really unique. I just love it so much, man, and it sounds amazing as well. Don't even get me started. This is definitely one I recommend you all hop in and have fun with, because nobody doesn't love a good old-fashioned Ford rally car. You can get it through all of the usual places, and the best part is this thing only costs 25,000 credits. Next up is the 1970 Porsche 914/6. This thing is a classic. I'm sure pretty much all of you, like me, hadn't even heard of this car for you guys until now, for me until I started playing this game. But looking into this car, and of course just driving it in this game, I have truly fallen in love with this thing. It is super quick, and it's also a very good A-class car if you're looking to do, I believe it's the trial for this week's festival playlist, the week of the 5th of December. It is really good, and it will get you through that trial. It sounds amazing. I personally really love the styling. I don't think everyone will, but personally I think this thing looks amazing. Definitely would drive it in real life. You can get it through all your usual routes, and it only costs 24,000 credits, so highly recommend you pick this one up. Next up is the 2011 Volkswagen Sicario R. I hope I said that right. Probably didn't, but who knows. This thing looks just like your little hot hatchback, Volkswagen hot hatchback, like a very long Golf R. But this thing is honestly super cool, and it has some apt body kits for it. If you don't know, apt is, I don't know exactly what they do actually. I'm gonna look it up. They are a motor racing and tuning company. Okay, good to know. Anyway, they have a super cool body kit for this thing, and you can turn it into a very unique looking hatchback. It's just gonna be one of those things that stand out in an open lobby, and people are gonna be like, what the hell is that? You can get it through all of the usual places, and it costs just 45,000 credits. And it's also pretty grippy. It's not gonna be like setting the world on fire, but it's pretty good. And finally on this list, we have the 2017 Vol 05 RR. Now, if you played with this thing in FH4, you're very familiar with it, but if you did miss out on FH4 altogether, or you just missed out on this car specifically, this thing is super, super cool. And the biggest reason why it's on this list is I feel like a lot of people play with it in FH4, so you don't really see it around, but also it is a Mexican car. It's made in Mexico, designed in Mexico as far as I know, so really fits the location. It's the only car like that in the game, and it also just looks really cool. It doesn't have a windshield or anything like that. It's kind of like the Ferrari Monza and stuff like that, which is coming to the game, by the way, in just 2 weeks' time. You can get this thing through all of the usual routes, and it is the most expensive car on this list, coming in at 100,000 credits, but it is definitely worth it if you don't own it already. So yeah, guys, that is all I have for you today. If you guys did enjoy, a like and a sub would mean a lot. Thank you guys so much for the support on the FH5 content lately, and thank you for all the new subs. Welcome. We will be doing a ton more FH5 content like this, so if you did enjoy, again, like and a sub would mean a lot. We will be covering all of the new Car Pass cars coming out in week 2, or I guess it would be update 2, not week 2. Apologies. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Have a good one, guys.